Armory disc golfers, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you how you can beat your buddies, how you can rate higher, and overall how you can score better by throwing overstable discs. Let's get into it. One of the ways that overstable discs can help improve your score is by hiding your mistakes on release. On this hole behind me, I want to push down the fairway and then finish left towards the basket. If I throw an understable disc just a little bit off, a little too flat, or maybe a touch of anhyzer, it's going to hold that anhyzer all the way over. However, if I throw an overstable disc, regardless if I throw it with a little bit of hyzer, flat, or a little bit of anhyzer, this disc is going to want to finish back to the left. I'll show you what I mean. So let's start with an understable disc. Watch how far off the intended flight an understable disc will be by missing a little bit. A little too flat, drifts right, all the way over. I'm 100 feet from the basket. However, if I grab an overstable disc and I throw it on that same angle of release, the overstable disc is very predictable and it's going to want to come back left anyway. Oh no, I threw it flat instead of hyzer, but it's overstable. Get in. That would have been funny. But it's overstable, so it still broke left anyway. Now, this isn't something you want to lean on too much. You need to see your mistakes as a player so that you can correct them and improve upon them and get better as a player overall. However, when it comes down to just scoring better, overstable discs can hide those mistakes and help you be more consistent off the tee. Some shots are just easier with overstable discs. Take this hole behind me, for example. I could take a straight or slightly understable disc and throw straight at the basket, or I could take an overstable disc and put it to the left where there's all this airspace and just know that it's going to hyzer back in towards the basket. Just hanging out to the left, I know that it's going to move back right and be at least somewhere in the vicinity for me to putt. Throwing a hyzer with a stable disc is not the most revolutionary thing, but there are other shot shapes that really benefit from having an overstable disc. Take, for example, this hole behind us. Let's play this as a mando to the left of this middle tree. I could throw some hyzer flip forehand with an understable disc that goes from hyzer to flat, pushes straight, and then gently fades out at the end. But I can widen the effective gap by throwing an anhyzer with an overstable disc, because after I get past these first two trees, the fairway opens up. I can throw an anhyzer, let it drift over into the open space, and then know that the disc is going to come back in towards the basket because it's overstable. This is an overstable disc, so I know that even though it's on that anhyzer, it's going to finish right back towards the basket. So we've already seen multiple instances of where throwing an overstable disc effectively widens the fairway. And I don't know about you, but for me, a wider fairway is easier to hit and helps me score better. Overstable discs will help you score better by helping you avoid OB strokes. On this hole behind me, obviously I don't want to end to the right because not only would I be OB, I'll never see this disc again. Luckily, this is a stable disc. It's a Rock 3, and I know that I can throw it on hyzer over that out of bounds, and it's gonna swing in back to the left because it's stable. That's into a headwind. Wasn't scared for a single second. But really, this goes to show that if I threw a less stable disc there, it would have kept pushing straight or turned over, never would have seen that disc again, and I would have been OB. Stable discs save strokes. Other things being equal, overstable discs don't have as much glide as neutral or understable discs. This means that you can be more confident in throwing them at the target and knowing they're not going to sail past. There's OB behind this basket, and when it comes to tournament day, I don't want to have any more touch than is absolutely required of me. I can throw it nice and firm, knowing that it's just going to get down onto the ground. There are exactly two thoughts going through your head right now. Man, I need an overstable disc. And man, where did he get that hoodie? And boy, do I have some good news for you. You can go to armorydiscgolf.com and grab them both. Just search overstable disc and you'll see pages and pages of discs that can help you improve your score, or search hoodie and grab one of these limited edition hoodies before they're gone forever. Another great use for overstable discs is that sometimes they fade less than understable discs. Now you might have seen the reverse of this tip in another video that I did. If you have, you get to watch it again because it's really cool. And if you haven't, buckle up because this is something that I just recently discovered and I found helps a lot of people. If you have a shot like this one where you want to go straight up and straight down, instead of taking an understable disc and putting it on a hyzer, you want an overstable disc. An understable disc will want to fight out of that hyzer and pan and fade farther to the left on a right-hand backhand. Because this is an overstable disc, however, once I put it on this hyzer, it's going to want to hold this and get down to the ground. So in effect, what's going to happen is the disc will travel relatively straight up and straight down to help me get over this tree and near the basket behind me. Straight up, straight down, no real roll away or play around the ground by the basket. This is the first tip, but it's also the final tip. Overstable discs are predictable, even into headwinds like we saw on the last hole and on this hole here, where again, I'm facing about a 15-mile-an-hour headwind. An overstable disc will still fly straight and finish, whereas an understable disc will flip over all over the place. So if you're facing a headwind, or if you just want consistent, predictable flights, grab an overstable disc. Even into a headwind, it pushes straight and then breaks over towards the left. That's actually a really good shot for me on this hole. Overstable discs, who knew? Now this is irrefutable proof that if you throw overstable discs, you're gonna birdie every single hole. Does this mean that you don't need understable discs? Absolutely not. Check out this video to see why you do need those discs in your bag. But when it comes to consistency, saving yourself OB strokes, knowing that a disc is gonna do the same thing over and over, overstable discs are the way to go. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.